Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly game master this evening, because tonight we are carrying on with our ongoing war story, a short diversionary campaign, or not campaign, but adventure, set in the same world as our ongoing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition campaign, playing Carl Sargent's classic Night Below. Now, I don't know why it's backwards. That's really weird. It's
good to me.
Strange.
So strange. And what we're using, instead of the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition as our rule set, we're using Paizo's very cool Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Oh, it's backwards too. That's weird. Never happened before, I swear.
I can't play like this.
And with me tonight, Kev, your face looks so fucked up. What's going on? Are the stars of the ongoing Night Below campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. I want you to tell us who you are and who you're playing. We know that all of you are the same level in this game. First up, we've got our resident armor smith, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm going to be playing Hrilgo the Bard. Oh, wait, sorry. I mean, Druid, Axe Brother. He is a cleric of Clangadan in this game.
Nice. And next up is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing Nox, the Unexpected, who is a human invoker.
Nice. Next up is John.
Hey everyone, I am John, and I'm playing the lovable gnome, Dorman Kettleborn, who is a illusionist wizard with the rogue dedication.
Very nice. Next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Chael. He's a elf priest or cleric of Coralon.
And Bane of the Undead.
Yes, Bane of the Undead, die.
Nice. Next up is our resident Peruvian correspondent, Steve-O.
Oh no, did we lose him? No.
He might be muted or not there.
No.
Well, yeah, take
there.
Just totally thrown off by the fact that I used his character in the intro.
He's like, I'm back just to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, if Dave's going to play Hrilgo, I don't have to be here then.
Well, yeah, let's take our word for that. Steve-O is here. And last, but certainly not least, is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Calidor. He is an elven fighter / kind of a thief.
Nice. So, guys, as a very, very quick overview of where we find ourselves, our war story, those left behind, this one is called Lure of Legacy, has been an ongoing effort by our heroes to track down two missing former companions, two paladins of St. Cuthbert. And, let me just get these guys clear here. Boom. So we can say our heroes have traveled up from their normal stomping grounds of Heronshire, heading north into Middenmark to the town of Eastdale, where they found a lot more going on than they expected. But sadly, thus far, they have not located their two missing paladin friends, although I expect we're going to be starting today's session looking through a bunch of corpses. So to put that creepy comment into context, that's my best Stan Lee impression there. Who wants to tell George and John what they missed last time?
Was it an owlbear?
It was not an owlbear.
No.
What
Let's
happened?
see.
I'll see if I can help prompt some things with visual aids here. Let's see. There's this.
Right.
Ouijas, okay. Never good.
There was also this.
Yep.
Worse, okay.
And there was
Right.
baker's dozen of these.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So how did
We
you
had
guys come
traveled-
across those?
Wait a minute.
We had traveled out to the spot we were told was where you would exchange the money for the book, is where we were. And previously, we had located some ambush sites there, and it looked like those had been used to ambush some people who may have kind of done what we were trying to do, which was buy the book. And let's see, we had found, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody found basically like a shallow grave. So
That
Drew
was
started digging.
Tanev.
The end, and that was the end
Oh,
of
it was
two
Nox,
sessions ago.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. So they were digging. I want to say right about the time we got down to the bottom, or got down to a person, was about the time that the undead showed up. I believe that's correct.
So let me fill in a couple of things. I think having your life flash before you, Chael was very nearly killed in this flashback adventure last session. Reduced to dying 3 at one point. What Droon... The first thing I'll get you guys to do is everyone starts with 1 hero point, so you can adjust your hero points down to 1. When you uncovered that corpse, which seemed to be about a month old or around that time, you guys may recall that when Droon was digging out, like they sort of dug down and found the chest and the torso, he dug further up towards the head and then found that after he dug it out, there was a coin that was sitting on the corpse's head, and that coin seemed to have not been disturbed by the couple of times his shovel kind of tagged it. What you will find today is that is the marking on one side of that coin. The coin seemed affixed to the head. While this was going on, Tanev and Calidor were keeping watch. Tanev from a tree and Calidor from the edge of the clearing. Calidor noticed a bush that was strangely kind of gyrating back and forth in a non-rhythmic way. And around the same time, Droon started noticing something twitching in the grave that he had excavated. And sort of at the same time, Calidor noticed something pushing up from underneath that bush, a walking corpse with a coin on its forehead. Droon noticed that the one in the grave was twitching and coming to life, or at least unlife, and Tanev spotted this winged horror flying in. What followed was that they all made friends. They are all now in service to Ouijas. Everyone's multi-classing. Okay. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that wasn't it. Everyone nearly died. So, what happened then, guys?
Let's see. There ensued a beautiful battle. Yes, there was much chaos and killing. Of course, they were, I guess, for lack of a better word, skeleton type. So certain weapons didn't affect them as much. So they struggled some with that. I was throwing around spells, trying to banish the undead by the light of Coralon left and right. Mm-hmm. Droon was throwing around some spells and throwing his axes.
That flying thing also had some kind of horrific death screech that could damage. But thankfully, Rilligo jumped in with a counter song ability of some kind and actually boosted everyone's saving throws. So because of his clutch performance, everyone made the saves and they didn't take full damage from what would have taken several of our brave companions down.
We realized that we weren't going to do this with weapons alone, and it was literally a burst of healing energy that was healing the party that were getting smashed down by this creature while also damaging the creatures, the undead. So really it was healing that saved the day.
Yeah.
I think Calidor was the one that dealt the final blow. I could be wrong, but it seems like he was the one that dealt the final blow to the giant winged creature.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because it was trying to flee.
Oh, that's right. It almost got away.
Yeah. And that was in the last minute of our session, too.
Yeah.
So we're picking up literally in the aftermath of that battle. What you see before you, make sure I got you on the right page here. I do. Is effectively kind of the clearing. What's missing is those giant standing stones and the broken stones in the middle. But this is very much what the surrounding terrain would be looking like right now. So that's where we will pick up, guys. I'm making note of the time and counting down half an hour to the next hero point. So, what do you guys wish to do now?
I have a question.
Of course.
What does our green bar mean on our tokens?
Your green bar is your shield.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think your like I could be wrong, but I don't think your shield spell goes up until like level 5 or level 10 or something like that. The cantrip
at level third, so 5th level, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then, guys, Nox and Dorman, apparently you guys were off looking in the, checking the road to see if anyone was down there. You heard the sound of this battle, and you arrived just in time to see a bunch of like disturbed earth around the sides. The clearing itself is, apart from the tracks led by these things and the remains of corpses from where our heroes have defeated those walking dead, the actual, where the corpses are bursting up from is actually outside, close to, as far away from the actual clearing itself as what the grave was that you found, Nox. So, What do you guys wish to do next?
Well, I come rushing back in and look to see if anybody needs some healing, which it looks like, Jill, you look hurt.
Mainly my pride, but yes.
And his shield. His shield was nearly annihilated.
Oh, yeah, my shield took a beating.
Yeah. Brutal hit.
Can you repair those things?
You can.
You can, yeah.
During downtime, yeah. You can. Do you have crafting?
Probably not, but I'll look.
You get a lot of skills in Pathfinder 2.
Yeah. It's untrained.
Untrained, okay. Let's see if it's a trained thing. Is anyone trained in crafting?
I do have crafting trained.
There you go.
Nice.
So you got it.
But would Droon have it because he's the armor smith?
I have it as well, actually.
Cool.
I don't.
That's funny.
What's your lore though, Droon? Oh, wasn't Beregor the one who was the armor smith?
I was an armor smith, and Beregor is a weaponsmith.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Or a blacksmith or something.
Okay, let's see here. Repair is an untrained action. You do not need to be trained in crafting in order to try and effect repairs. You spend 10 minutes attempting to fix a damaged item, placing it on a stable surface, and using a repair kit. Same DC as it is to craft it in the first place. On a success, you restore 5 hit points to the item, plus an additional 5 per proficiency rank that you have in crafting. So there is a benefit to being trained in it. You will more effectively repair the darn thing. For yours to be non-broken, Chill, it needs to have at least 10 or 9 9 hit points restored to it.
Right, it needs to be half.
No one's got a mending spell of any kind?
No.
Okay.
That was just all of them, I suppose.
My spells do the opposite.
I was going to say, I can help destroy it if you want to finish it off.
Put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
So, what you can also do with your with the 10-minute rest or 10-minute break is you guys can apply first aid if anyone wants to do that. Anyone have trained in medicine?
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm trained in medicine.
Okay.
I am, but it's not a very good bonus.
I'll do some medicine on Chael.
Using medicine on Chael. Okay. So the you can roll against a DC 15, and then it's a 2d8 that you restore on success. You want to spend that first hero point?
At least he didn't critically fail.
Yeah.
True. I'd do it. I think you should do it.
Yeah, I mean...
There you go.
There you go.
Nice.
So then you restore 4d8 hit points, and the wounded condition is removed. So what happens, the wounded condition is basically what you carry around. It's the way to reflect your character is a walking wounded. When you're at 0 hit points, you gain a dying condition of whatever level it is. You were at dying 3. When you recover, you still keep wounded 3. So like if you went down to 0 again, you'd be dead. But thanks to Droon's treatment, you get to get rid of the wounded condition, you're ready to start dying again, and you regain 4d8 hit points. So either yourself or Droon, you can go ahead and roll 4d8.
You want to roll them, Dave?
Look at that. 24 back.
Nice.
Wow.
These are 2 battle chaplains who have, this is not the first time they've had to do this over the past 2 years. So, Drew, you finish patching him up, slap on the shoulder, like, you're good to go.
Yep. Maybe a punch on the shoulder, but, you know.
Rilligo's a little hurt as well, too. He did take a little bit of damage, but everyone else seems to be okay. I don't know how Let
me go ahead and do medicine on Hirilgo.
Sure.
Since I'm feeling much better now.
Okay. You are one off from a success there. You want to spend a hero point to reroll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me hero enter. All right. And let's go reroll that.
Here we go. Come on, big
come
money.
on.
50 right on the nose.
Look at that.
So while we're doing the healing, could I do like a 10-minute long attempt to repair that shield?
Yeah, absolutely. Give us a. Let me check what the
I can get
DC is.
part of the way there.
Okay, so crafting. Here we go.
Jill, you're gonna get your shield back, and it's gonna be bolted together with cooking spoons and spice racks.
Yeah, and it'll smell like feet.
Hey, I don't carry that stuff. It's cinnamon.
It'll smell like eagle pie.
Oh, God. Even worse. I didn't even realize that was a real thing until going down a rabbit hole the other day.
Which was?
Eel pie is
Eel
for
pie,
real.
oh, yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yep.
Oh, now I wish I didn't know that was real.
Well, I heard a British comedian
Sorry,
once
George.
talk about how, or maybe it's what do you call it? It's actually I think it's so I married an axe murderer. He said that most British cuisine is based on a dare.
Yeah.
I accidentally just Googled it and saw images, and I immediately closed that page.
My sister has arrived.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
They say hi.
I mean,
She
fish
like
and
eel
chips
pie?
in there is great.
Okay.
Did you give her some eel pie?
Yeah.
Hey, George.
What was that?
Okay.
Did you have my email, George?
Hey, yes, Steve. I'm gonna. You will get a response later tonight.
No problem. Yeah, just
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Steve, you are there.
I am here. Hello. Sorry. Stepped away for a second.
Don't worry, you're still alive.
Yes, more or less.
All right. So
Yeah, a little bit more, thanks to Chael.
Yeah.
all right. So then your DC Dorman is going to be. Okay, 15 as well.
Okay.
Look at that.
There you
Critical
go.
Yes,
success.
crit.
So crit means you restore 10 and you're trained?
I am, yes.
Yes, so 20. Your shield is good as new.
Oh,
Doran
Wow.
sits down, goes to work on the thing, so you can restore all your hit points to your shield.
Apparently,
Calorie,
I know the mending spell.
yeah.
Magical.
Calibur's is
I
down a
am
little
the
bit as well,
mending.
but it's going to be harder to repair because it is a higher level item. Anyone want to take a stab at Calour, or Calour, do you want anyone to take a stab at repairing your
I mean,
shield?
I have crafting at train as well.
Okay, sure. Let me tell you what the
I don't
difficulty
know if I'm
class
as good
is
as
for
I'm not
that.
quite as good as Dorman at it, but
Okay. Well, and you actually don't need as much of a success either.
Yeah, I'm intelligence based, and crafting is an intelligence skill, so. Dorman's smart.
If your character's too stupid to figure it out, that was a roundabout way of him saying he's smarter than you.
Well, I'll say that, but I won't call him stupid.
That's a good idea.
Listen, man, it's not your fault. This task requires you to be charming and attractive.
Hey, no,
You know?
no, Dorman is not that.
It is an unfair advantage that you have.
I'm pretty sure charisma was all of our dump stat for every single
Actually,
member of
Dorman
the
had
party.
15, but that doesn't translate to PF2.
Okay, here we
yeah,
go.
Chaels was pretty good. I think it. Let me see what it is in this game.
All right, so the difficulty for yours actually is 24, Caldor.
I've got the lore master. I've got the lore master's
But
A2.
remember, Steve,
spell I
that
can-
only helps with recall knowledge. That's not what they're doing.
Oh, okay, got it.
And also, you're out of focus points. You can spend 10 minutes trying to recover a focus point.
Oh, why don't I do that?
Sounds good. He's playing a little ditty over in the corner. If anyone else is down any focus point from casting spells, you can feel free to take 10 minutes to do that as well.
I will do that as well.
Okay. Caldor, why don't you give us a...
No, actually, I'm at max. I'm currently at max. I'm
All
okay.
right. Does it break it if I screw up?
It can if you, but
I
only if
think
you
on a critical failure.
on a critical failure. So if you roll a 14 or less.
If Kevin lets me, I can try to assist.
No, because you guys are operating at different times.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it.
hero points.
You have a hero point.
Jeez.
You have a hero
All
point.
right. Yeah, I'll try
Yeah,
again.
do it.
I'll delete my.
There you go.
There you go.
So unfortunately, like you don't seem to make, and the reason is because this thing is so fucking tough. This is an adamantine shield. Like, how do you fix something that tough? Like, you're blunting your tools as you're working on it, and like,
Bit shine.
all right, maybe magic will help with that. But again, you don't make it any worse though. So there is that. So Rilligo's recovering his focus points. Chael was treating wounds. Droon was treating wounds. Dorman was repairing Chael's shield. Nox, what were you doing?
So I'll tell you what I was doing, but I just want to quickly mention that I really do like the way they have the mechanics for skills in PF2. Like being trained, having like some special abilities, or for lack of a better word, that you can do if you have training. I think it's just a really cool.
It is an
idea.
exceptionally well-designed game. Just there's so many. The more I run it, the more I'm seeing little things that are like that little bit of synergy is fucking beautiful, and that little bit of thing is awesome.
It helps set characters apart, etc., which is very cool. So anyway, so Nox, I had made a note that last time he thought that the graves that we discovered might have belonged to the paladins.
Yes, because this one's quite recent.
So he wanted to investigate around there if that hadn't already been done last session.
No, the guys have not had a chance yet. They sort of found this one corpse, and then things kind of went to pot.
So I'd like to spend 10 minutes trying to just look around, see if I see anything that's, tells me anything in general, but specifically I'm trying to figure out if these belong to the two paladins were human.
Two paladins were human, yes.
Yeah,
Sure,
so I'm looking for
Bernard.
human skeletons. I'm looking for any kind of paraphernalia or items that they might have carried, that kind of thing.
So the Walking Dead that you faced last time, they were a mix of different species. There were or ancestries. There's some gnomes. There was halflings, dwarves, elves, and humans as well too. The one that you dug up, the human body. It seemed to have some broken bones. I think it was Chael who made a really good medicine roll and noticed that like this skeleton had specific breaks that had healed in the skeleton that had that would suggest that this was like an adventurer or someone who lives a either accident prone or danger involving life. How do you think you would distinguish this body from, and like it's the what you've got left is this scorched body where Chael had unleashed divine power upon it to scour the undead soul from it, or spirit, not soul.
I think a few things coming together at the same time. So one is I am trained in medicine, so I'm looking to see, how old whoever this individual might have been, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what caused its demise. And then on top of it, using detect magic to see if I detect anything magical about any items found in or around it. I don't know if there's any.
There's that coin that has it's a Sulis coin with Ouijas that was sitting on the thing, and that's been on every single one of the skeletons you've found.
And I also checked that Sulis coin to see if there's any text on it, because I know Sulis.
Yes. Okay. So a couple of dice rolls I'm going to ask from you here. First off, why don't you give us a medicine check, please?
Alrighty, here we go.
See if you can.
Nope. No idea. Looks like a corpse.
Yeah, you have a hero point.
Skeleton.
You want to spend a hero point?
That looks like low enough to give him really patently false information. I love that.
Why not? We're trying to really find out what's going on here. So
okay.
I look closer, and
I think what it is that it's not that you're incompetent. It's just that like the effect of having like the divine power scoured onto this thing. It's made it very. There's so much burning and charring on this thing. It's really hard to tell what it is, what the age is, or whatever else. Maybe you'll have more luck with that coin though, which seems to.
I would add to that also the burning freaks me out because my tribe was wiped out by some burning. So so that is kind of like making me not want to touch the skeleton or get even very close to it. So all of that together, I have no idea.
That's around the time when Nox told that old man, "There's nothing left for me now. I want to go with you and learn to be a Jedi like my father."
That's right. It was like
that was the backstory you sent me, right?
That was it. You got it. Okay. I made it up. I hope that works.
That's great. Great idea. I think it's going to go far. So why don't you give us well, here's what I can tell you is that there is a faint necromantic aura to the coin.
Okay, so I have two ways of checking into that. One is a detect magic, which I definitely would use. I, of course, have Arcana, and I also have occultism.
I think so. This would either you could use Arcana, but it's going to be a little bit of a higher target number. If you've got Religion, it'll be a lower target number. Because
no, I mean I could try it, but it's so different. It's probably worth using the Arcana instead.
Yeah, why don't you give us an Arcana check then, please?
Okay, here we go. 19.
Okay. So the interesting thing, this is a relatively minor magic item. What this is a Queen of the Crimson Priestess, Coin of the Crimson Sorceress. What this is a relatively simple magic item it's an enchantment that's added to a coin. The use of coins in Suli's burials is not uncommon and has been used for thousands of years. What this does is it infuses the coin with sufficient power that it takes up any of the material component that would be required for a create undead ritual, and it grants a +1 to any religion checks with respect to that. So it's basically every one of these coins is a cheap little thing to help you. Create Undead is a ritual in Pathfinder 2, so it's like a thing. It takes a lot longer to do, but it's the way you create long-lasting, undead minions that stick around.
I see.
If you turn it over, why don't you give us a society check too, please? Or what kind of lores do you have?
My lore is warfare.
You can use that instead if that's better.
That is better, actually. 25.
All right.
Nice.
Now, I don't have the name because I actually ran out of time to look up the name. But this is an actually minted Suloi's coin. Coins are minted for a variety of different reasons, for different and for different gods. The fact that there is Weejos's symbol on the back suggests that this was repurposed in a way. But what is on the other side is the name of the Suli's emperor who reigned at the time of the reign of colorless fire. And like a pro, I used reign in two different meanings in the same sentence.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
Nothing
get a hero
confusing
point.
about that. Yeah. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So this
the
is
DM hero points.
That gives you an idea of how long
ancient
the coin is. Well, and to give context too, so one of the things I fucked up is that for some reason I thought the Reign of Colorless Fire was a lot longer ago than what it actually is. The Reign of Colorless Fire occurred a little over 1,000 years ago, and before that, the Suli's Imperium reigned for about 5,000. So, and then if you want to put into context how old and like how deep the history goes back, the reign of the cursed lich/god Vecna dates back about 15,000 years. And not for nothing, his empire covered the part of the Seldamar Valley that makes up the Yeomanry.
And does this Vecna take acolytes? No. I'm not interested. I pass.
You see him browsing along on monster.com. Lost
This is
and
bad.
no.
This is bad, Nox. Okay. Okay, I will convey all of that information to my companions once they're all done with their 10 minutes of what they're doing.
Yeah.
After I'm checking out the skulls and looking at everything and looking at the coin and examining it, I'm gonna keep one of the coins.
Okay.
For a variety of reasons, if I can.
excuse me, you can get your hands on at least 10 if you choose.
I only want one at the moment, and maybe my companions want to hold the other ones or take them to destroy them. But I'm gonna pocket one of them for further use if necessary.
Are you trying to hide it from everyone that you took it?
No, I got so many things I'm hiding.
Okay.
Why try something else? Tip them off to everything else that's much worse.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I pointed out to them, and I want to, just.
You're the murderer who got pulled over for having a tail light out.
Like in Fargo, the TV series Fargo. Like, you do not want to go down this road. So I show them that coin and point out that this is the Emperor and all of that thing, and I make it clear that I make it purposefully clear that I'm taking one with me.
Yeah.
Necromancy.
Yes, very much so.
Take precautions.
You should take many precautions. This is recent. This is an ancient coin that's been used recently.
Yeah, I don't like necromancy.
Oh, it's foul magic.
Yeah, I'm not touching that.
Okay. It actually is the right to create undead is actually a religious right. So Chael and Droon, you guys would be. You may not. For sure, Chael doesn't know it, but while you may not know it, you're aware that is a fairly common ritual that amongst darker faiths or faiths that don't have any kind of prohibition against trucking with undead spirits. So, other than that, anything else you can think of? Everyone else will assume you guys have finished up what you're doing. Everyone's sort of bandaged up. You've tried to make the repairs that you can to your weapons or shields or whatever else. Dorman and Kelder, you guys can try and work together at another point if you want to try and get further repairs done to your shield. Just you weren't able to do it right now in the.
I've got to hear a point. So how about I take lead and Caliburn can try and help me?
I don't think this is a task where helping really adds anything to it. So it's just going to be one of you rolling. So if you do want to take another 10 minutes to do this while everyone else takes some other time, you go right ahead. 24 is target number.
Yeah, Dorman is feeling confident after helping with Chael's shield, so he's going to give it a shot.
Okay. So come on, big bunny.
Yeah, I got to roll a 15 or higher. Yeah. Oh, so close.
So close.
I'm going to try it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean...
Okay.
I got close. So, it almost worked.
Yeah. I'm picturing that this is the problem on this one is more that it's the size, because this is a huge tower shield. Dorman, this thing is taller than you are, so you're effectively working on a door. What are the rest of you guys doing during that time? Nox was unable to sort of tell whether this was, the Paladin's corpse or not. Do you guys have any suggestions for how you might be able to check it? What you can tell you is that it does, it's a human skeleton from what Chael rolled before. It's a big, person like both Sir Arturius and Sir Reynard were. It doesn't appear there's another skeleton of equal size, or at least one as fresh as what this one is.
Maybe we should dig that up.
Well, they've thankfully taken care of that for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If there are, that said, there may be others around. That skeletal screecher, that thing was calling up new, bodies, almost every 6 seconds.
Maybe we should do some seeking. See if we find other, either still buried but recent graves, or exploded graves of things that emerged.
Is there any magic coming off that coin you just put in your pocket?
Yes, there are more here. There's another 9 spread out here. They were on all of these corpses.
It is way of detecting the magic from those coins while they're in the ground. We could use that as a beacon to try and find the corpses.
I could try. I have the ability to detect magical auras.
I think, and having seen what you're looking for now as well, I think I would grant you. I'll drop the target number for looking around by 2.
Okay, cool. So I make an Arcana check, correct?
Okay. Yes. Spare with me 1 second here. I forgot to load one thing, so I'm just going to get that done in the background.
Never good.
Damn you, Madison. Where's that Fang Dragon? Where is he?
Would it be like a survival or checking the ground?
No, it'll actually just be. Yeah, I'd buy. That'd be what, nature? Let's see.
Somebody got some nature.
Yeah, I'd buy
skill?
survival. Yeah. So survival, and I'll reduce the difficulty by 2. For that.
I was just asking that. Oh,
Sure.
What about
Yeah.
how anthropological are you willing to get? Could I use my medicine skill to kind of identify any specific skeletal characteristics?
Yeah, you can take a look at this existing skeleton.
And try and identify if it's maybe matches some of the cultural information that we had on the paladins.
Yeah, I think what you can do is give us a. If you're taking that approach, why don't you give us a medicine check? Let me check to the target number here for you.
Sure.
So I think it's gonna be 18.
Okay.
To be able to like conclusively determine this, and easy.
Nice.
Shale, there is, and I think that what this is you remember, sort of as you're in the film version, is we'd see you standing over the scorched body in the, in the ground, and you're studying it, as the others are talking about like ways to uncover other corpses. And you remember a time sitting on the, on the banks of the Churnut River when you guys were talking. And for both of them, I guess one of them was talking, Sir Arturius was talking about a bad break that he took. He has to put his shield up a little higher on his arm because he had a bad break in his forearm when he was an acolyte. He just caught a practice sword at a really bad angle, and you're looking over at the arm. There's nothing broken there. And then you remember, this is sort of like, the comparing wounds thing in Jaws. This was what you guys were doing, is you were talking about like how everyone got a little, thing. And Sir Reynard is like, that's not, not a problem. Takes off the helmet and he shows, there's still a scar on his. This is the guy who's a bit of a dick. There's a big scar in his thing where he accidentally. It was a what do you call it? A woodcutter's axe when he was caught with his daughter. So you guys all sort of like, and you look at his the head, and the skull has no damage on it whatsoever.
Okay.
So you're fairly certain this is neither Sir Maynard or Sir Arturius.
Okay, well that's a good thing because I'd like them to still be alive. So that's good. That's good to know. So this is probably just yet another person that was after the book. Yeah,
just some other poor adventurer who, and like with that careful study, you could tell again, like it's the kind of injuries that you expect an adventurer to have. Even when you use magic and divine power to make things, heal up wounds and whatnot, it doesn't, as much as the divine, practitioners want to refer to it as miracles, it doesn't undo what's been done. It just heals it. So you can see all the broken bones, cracked ribs and whatnot that were reset, or things that just did not come back. This is definitely someone who had the wounds and injuries you see on the skeleton speaks of a fairly long career as an adventurer. And the markings around the rib cage, which seem freshest, suggest how that adventurer's career came to an end.
Speaking of which, I think that's the next thing that Drew and I ought to do. We need to consecrate all this. We need to bury these bodies and bless them so that they don't turn into undead again.
That's a good idea. I will see if I have any additional knowledge that could be of use to Chael and Druin in that endeavor based on what I know about these or deciphered or discerned about these coins.
The Consecrate is a ritual like Create Undead in Pathfinder 2, but it does require you guys may remember you were thinking of using that in the Shrine of Ouijas as well. It requires you to be of the same religion.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You definitely could bring that idea to the Red Temple, and either them or the people from the Temple of Lore could take care of that for you.
So I'm going to bring an extra coin as well to give to them.
Okay.
Yeah, one for each of them.
Okay, so 2 extra coins. Anything else you guys wish to do while in this clearing?
We're going to check for more bodies.
Right. So why don't you give us a... Let's see here. This one I will let. Who else wants to help with this?
Sure, I can help with it. I got nothing else going on.
Okay.
Has it been 10 minutes for me yet?
It has, yeah.
Okay.
So you got... Actually, it would be 20 minutes you would need because you're down by 2. But you've got all your focus points back there, Steve-O.
Yay.
Huzzah.
Someone's actually trained in survival. Drew just asked how we would do it.
Oh, okay. I think Calidor is, and...
Yeah, I'm just not
Dorman
awesome
might
at
be.
it, but I'm trained at it.
Dorman is. I just don't know if I'm still working on that shield or not.
No, you guys are
And
finished up.
also, I happen to be trained in survival as well.
There we go. So, well, here's what I'll let you guys do. Is you know what? Fuck. I buried my... I actually dug out my extra copy of... the rulebook, the collector's edition one, so I can have difficulty classes for one section open somewhere and then something else, but I've got...
Oh, Kev, those 2 Pathfinder 2 books you sent me?
Yes.
Getting a lot of use out of them.
Fantastic. They're both Secrets of Magic and Guns and Gears are just fucking awesome. They have...
Yep. The Inventor and the Gunslinger. Ooh, delicious.
So good. The 2 of them just add like by adding the Gunslinger and adding the Magus back to the game. Those are my 2 like favorites from PF1 apart from the Shifter. And
wait, you like the Shifter?
Fucking love the Shifter.
You are on a fringe minority of people who like the Shifter. Don't get me wrong, it's great.
No, I mean they released errata for it shortly after the release of the book. The errata made it fine. I think that if you're also...
A lot of people just say the Druid does it better, so why even have the Shifter? I'm like, you guys...
You know my feelings on the hive mind for PF1.
I know.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. So anyway, let's see here. It was...
The Shifter did add a lot of cool wild shape feats.
It's just I think it's and the book like I really love Ultimate Wilderness for a lot of the survival stuff that I use in all my D&D games. In addition to that, and there's the Shifter. It could be just the Wayne Reynolds art for it, but like the conceptual idea of having that kind of like I don't know, it's super fucking cool.
One of the archetypes literally turns you into an ooze.
Yeah.
Like, it changes your base race into an ooze.
It's ridiculous. All right. So, guys, so the ones who have time to spare, I think, are Calidor, Nox, Dorman, and you guys are trained. Drew, do you want to help out here?
No, I'm going to look over these coins.
Oh, okay. Study the coins. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what you will determine, like, if you study the coins, you find exactly what Nox had discovered, which is like basically you don't need to. You can use these, and the nice thing is they're not used up. You can keep using these things to create undead without any material component cost. So if you want
the nice thing about them is you can keep casting necromancy.
this is how we get people to read forbidden books.
That's right. Come on,
It's the upside.
I'm still waiting for the upside.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Sounds like I need to destroy these coins.
That's what I'm talking about.
And maybe ask Nox for a couple back.
There's a high five between the clerics. Yeah.
Hey, I'm with them too. Just my dislike of necromancy is purely secular.
You know he's a secret necromancer, right? You guys have all figured it out, right?
I cannot even learn necromancy.
How would I do something? A simple illusionist raise an undead army to turn on my allies.
It's not what it looks like.
As John secretly leaves through Libra Mortis.
That is one of my favorite 3.5 books.
Oh, the truth is coming out.
Yep.
My PF1 game is heavily based around the undead. Playable undead, actually.
See, there you go. It's all coming out.
You just see Dorman crafting an undead hand on. Oh wait, sorry.
So what you should be asking is, Dorman, what's in the soup?
All right. So I was trying to find the rules for Aid Another.
DC's usually
Is it DC 20 here too?
It is 20, yeah.
Yeah, okay, 20. Okay, I just found it. As is always a fucking case. As soon as you say it, I find it on the page. Let's see here. Who was taking the lead on this? Who's going to benefit from the others? Who's got the best?
I've got a 5 in survival.
Got a 6.
5 as well.
Okay, so we'll let Nox take the lead, and we'll try to.
Yeah, Nox,
best.
and we'll drop the difficulty number for Nox as well, because he's also making use of. Oh, that's right. You actually can't roll because you're making use of your detect magic.
Right,
Nox.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So someone else is going to take the lead for it.
Calidor can do that. I'll see if I can help him.
Okay.
Okay, here goes.
See
Nope.
here. No. I see it's 8 o'clock. Everyone gets a hero point.
That's a good timing, Kevin.
Yes.
As I'm about to blow this, I'm sure.
Counter. Here we go. Well, you get the difficulty is reduced by 2 thanks to Nox's assistance here. Let's see how it goes.
Roll 20.
So you find, you actually are able to find about 3 other graves in here. There may be others. And tell me, like, are you planning on excavating them completely each time you find them, or do you sort of like dig down until you find a body and then go to the next, dig down, find a body, go to the next? What do you guys think?
Well, I don't particularly like desecrating graves, so I vote for not fully digging them out.
Those, what Droon can tell you is, after studying these things, these are not graves. These are waiting places and storage vessels for creatures of the undead.
Yeah, they've got coins on their heads. Coins on their heads. They need to be destroyed.
Dig them up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
You guys find the bodies, I'll dig them up. Just,
So I think
once you-
over the span of, it seems that these guys have had a busy season because over the span of the rest of the day, you uncover 5 more. So there are a total of 5 plus the other ones you had. There's a lot of murdered people in here.
Oh, jeez.
The bodies, the oldest one you find is likely to date back to about 9 months. So it seems as if shortly after that sword was found, this is where they started running this scam, or perhaps they were running some other scam before this. But none of them seem to be in the ground for more than a year. So it's unlikely that whatever they were running here, it didn't go longer than that.
And we didn't hear of any, just regular common locals going missing. They were all people who are travelers or that kind of thing.
All adventurers, yeah.
Okay.
If you were, this is one of the downsides to, if you're trying to catch a murderer in a town that caters to adventurers, they die all the time, unfortunately, right? And whether they died in the and they're also, because adventurers, when they find information, sometimes want to be secretive about that, or take secret paths, or they've got superstitions or whatever. Or they just go on, they give up and go on elsewhere. If suddenly so and so isn't in the tavern anymore, it's not something you would think of twice.
Right. Yeah.
So
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like we have not found our paladin friends here.
No, every single one of the corpses has one of those coins on them. You kind of get to the point where you're hoping that, like, come on, there can't be, and then sure enough. Even ones where Caldor's found them first, and then you're like, oh, I can sense something below their coin again. Almost like they were preparing a larder. That's what you'd be thinking, Dorman.
Are these made of gold?
They are. I mean, it's some kind of magically tempered gold, so it's not going to deform or anything like that. But
Well, I'm just thinking about we could melt these down and get something out of it.
I do not know if this magic protects them from being damaged, but we could try that. We do not have the ability to do that here, unfortunately, it would seem.
Well, Corbin's gonna.
If we bring them to the temple, they may be able to help with that. It's a good idea.
okay,
So I guess we'll gather, just to be clear, we'll gather all the coins that we have found.
sure. So you gather all the coins from each of them. You've got your nice little stack. Anything else you guys wish to do? You get to the point where you figure that you're not, that you're not going to uncover any further ones, and it is getting later. You know, unfortunately it's the early part of winter, so the days are much shorter. The night is coming, even though it's not that late. It's not terribly cold out yet, but it's cold enough that you can notice the difference when the sun comes down. How do you guys feel about having not found the paladins within this number?
Certainly relieved. I couldn't think of no worse fate for them to be turning the undead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chael feels
Great.
good about that.
Plus, what Jill had said earlier, that perhaps they're still alive.
Yes, that's his hope. Because I mean, these
If
guys
I-
helped us kill the delay, yo.
That's right. And if I remember correctly, we're only 20 or 30 minutes from
Oh, yeah.
town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not far back, and we've got a wagon.
Yeah. I don't know if you brought your wagon with you, though, did you?
I thought, and I could be completely off base here, but I thought when we were approaching, I think we were in the wagon, and then Chael basically stayed on the wagon, and then like Tanev and I think Calidor led everybody else in like a sneak attack almost
Oh,
when we
okay.
were approaching this site.
I'm fine with that. So your wagon will be waiting back. Maybe that's where Dorman and Knox were literally with the horses when the whole thing
very
came
much
down.
so.
Okay. So
Should we return to town? What do you all think?
Yeah, we need to let the Red Temple know.
Yeah, there may be other sites they could find easier than we can.
okay.
It's true, there may be more sites. I hadn't thought of that.
Necromancers, they're always plotting and planning.
They were quite concerned about having a cult of Ouijas under their nose, particularly given that
Confirmed.
the whole prelacy is supposed to be under the protection of St. Cuthbert, and the church for Bacab is here specifically to kind of keep an eye out for that sort of thing as well. Finding that there's a mass grave, and again, like, you can't help but think, Dorman, is because of your cooking background, you can't help but thinking like this is sort of like preparing your larder for winter. So
Put them in a place where they won't degrade too much, and then by the time you raise them, you'll have thousands.
Hey, Jill, that John the Miller, he didn't cast anything, right?
No,
Not in the time that we fought.
not in the time we thought. There was no indication of spell casting or anything of that manner. I'm of the belief he was just a follower.
Well, yeah. So that's where I was getting with this. Is he didn't do this, but somebody had to, and it's close enough to town that you would suspect it'd be somebody in town.
Oh, so maybe we should be extra cautious with who we're trusting.
Yeah.
Agreed. I do not think that the Elven woman was the mastermind. There was some other force, entity, or person behind all of this.
does Knox know that at least the Miller referred to Wine and Daviler as a he?
I don't think he does.
No.
I don't think he does.
He definitely
Oh, but I remember talking about the fact that she may be a shapeshifter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it weighs on your mind. Would Chael and Nox each give us a society? Or Nox, you can try for a warfare lore roll as well, but it's going to be substantially higher because it's not be sort of a peripheral.
I've already used warfare, so I'm gonna do
Try society, sure. So why don't you each give us a
No idea.
Nox, okay?
What's society? What's
Nat
society?
20. There's our first nat 20.
Oh my gosh.
Nice, Jill.
All right.
Because I only have a 1 in it.
So here's the thing. One thing we talked about last time is how the Lendor Isles actually have a pretty fucking close connection to Suli's culture because of the Lendor himself, the one who lent his name to the Isles. He was a Suli's archwizard who fled the Suloi's Imperium shortly before the Reign of Colorless Fire. And then the twin devastations.
Right.
Because of that, you've got a lot of exposure to Suli's culture, and then most of the surrounding nations and whatnot are either, under the thrall of the Scarlet Brotherhood or they're pawns of them. So you got a pretty good knowledge of this. Here's an interesting tidbit. I'll give you 2 interesting tidbits of information here. One of the things that the Sulu is of particular interest in the Suloi's history is about, I think it is about 2,500 years ago, is when there was a major rift and shakeup in the Suloi's Imperium. And the reason is because the ruling council agreed to try and create a servient race by fusing Flan men, not Sulois. Oh, no, it was Suloi's men. Suloi's men and dwarves. The result was something that was called... Oh, nuts, I didn't write it down. There is a Suloi's word for it. But what they call themselves now, having freed themselves after the Reign of Colorless Fire, are Darrow. They have the worst qualities of each of them. They have... Now, that is fairly common knowledge because it had such a big impact on it. And for 2,500 years, or for 2,000 years, the Darrow, and Darrow is a derivation or bastardization of a slang term for them. There is a different name in Sulois that I found in an old Dragon article that I didn't write down, but I'll give it to you afterwards. You remember that aspect because it was such a big deal. It caused a big split, and in fact, it actually caused one of the Suli's pantheon to leave and go and serve the dwarves. What you also know is that is only one of their magical experiments, and another was replicating doppelgangers. The doppelgangers you find in the Flanace are said to be magical creations of Suloi's archmages. And not for nothing, the Scarlet Brotherhood is a Suli's supremacist organization.
Yeah. No, that I knew.
Yeah.
Drurohoi, yes, that's right. And there's another one that's with it starts with a T, is the original name they had for him, which I can't remember. I read about that.
Yes, got it. I have it.
Oh, nice, thank you.
There you go.
Thurgamazar. So that was the name that they gave to them. The rude Flan name that was given by a Flan slave was Dwarrohoi, which became the Dwarhoi, which became the Darrow.
And one of those translations is Twisted Dwarves.
Yeah. So you're thinking of that when you mentioned the shapeshifters, Chael. You can't help but think that, this is the more of the twisted legacy of the Suli's empire or Imperium. So, what if you guys leave this, you arrive back in town. It will be dark by the time you get back to town, just because you were working for most of the day. What do you guys intend on doing when you get back to town?
Do we know if it's too late to go to the temple at that point when we would arrive?
Everyone's sort of on with the news that there is there are followers of the Red Sorceress or the Crimson Sorceress that are in town, the Stern Lady. They are sort of on a war footing, so they're all sort of on high alert right now.
So it's never too late to show up with important news, basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay. So,
So yeah, let's.
what do you share with? Do you tell them everything you experienced?
On the way, Drew wants to talk to Nox about those other coins.
Of course, yeah. Go ahead.
Just gonna ask, what you really wanted those coins for, my friend.
I want to turn them over to the Red Temple to see if they can destroy them, and perhaps they can use it to find any others that may be in the vicinity.
I meant the ones that you want to keep.
That's for us to do the same. I'm only keeping one for that purpose. The other was to give to the temple. But now we've collected all of them, so we can turn over all of them. But I thought we should keep one for ourselves to help us track down this threat. Unless you think it is too dangerous, Drew, and you know more about matters of religion than I do.
No, I was just more concerned with your curiosity, my friend.
Would you feel more comfortable if you held this coin instead of me?
I don't want to touch it.
So I flip it in the air and I catch it and I put it in my pouch because I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
All right.
I have far more nefarious things going on in my life at this moment.
Absolutely. So, you share the information of what you found. You turn over the coins and I'm assuming they're going to call both the, not only the priestess of the Temple of Lore for Bacab, also bring Mirian, the magician. He certainly would be interested in any kind of Suli's artifacts.
Yeah.
So, the first thing they say is that they both members of both temples will be going out to the clearing and assess what needs to be done. But you can be assured that, like the shrine to Ouijas, it will be consecrated. Any and all of the bodies will be given proper burials.
Excellent.
Anything else you want to tell them or ask of them? I guess one of the questions they would have, and in particular, what's his name? The prelate, Mordecai. He would did you find our brothers among them?
No, which is a good thing.
It speaks well.
I hope to still find them alive. But one way or the other, we're going to discover what happened to them.
Anything else you wish to share with them or ask of them?
Druten shares his fear that there's a cleric of Ouijas hidden in the midst.
So just
the one that the miller that we defeated didn't show any signs of spell casting that we're aware of.
No. And one of them, like the Ouijas is not an outlawed faith in many nations or many other places. So there's certainly lots of opportunity to learn it. It's not like the temple of, the cult of Tharizdun or the cult of Nerul, where you really, like, nobody wants that shit around, there are benefits to learning from Ouijas. They, as a reminder too, the secret that they've been holding in Middenmark, the Palfrey family had been keeping the sort of the particulars of Sir Lothar's crusade against the necromancer from everyone because of shame, because of the curse. In Middenmark, they'd actually been suppressing information about that because they didn't want it known that it was a powerful priest of Ouijas who was the necromancer. He wasn't a wizard. He was a priest.
Right.
So that's obviously a great concern of theirs. With people poking around about the necromancer, or poking around about the story of the necromancer, and now, you know, a cult of Ouijas coming up, it may be more than just those who are interested in Sir Lothar's legacy who are investigating that event. And with so many strangers, this is what I think one of the paladins would probably be Mordekar. With so many strangers passing through Eastdale on a in the spring, summer, and fall, they could easily hide amongst the multitudes. So
Nox walks off mumbling, "Perhaps we need to fight fire with fire."
Exactly.
I think maybe not retconning, but like this actually feeds in very nicely to his back to what we played through already. This is maybe one of the reasons he delved a little bit deeper into forbidden lore because of this potential threat, and so that was his excuse anyway.
Mm-hmm. I think we call that pulling a Roy Thomas.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Anything else you guys wish to discuss with the heads of the two temples, or are you going to retire to the stop it. Oh, sorry, the saucy tart.
Yeah, it's ale time.
Ale time. Okay.
I would like to relax, but also discuss further with you what our next step should be.
So you guys all retire to the. Let me see if I've got a. I'm sure I've got a illustration of a tap room or something like that I can move you over to. Unless you want to set the patio, in which case enjoy that thing. Let's see here, tavern. Well, looky here. Okay. It's almost like I've done this before, my goodness. All right, guys, let me set you up in the tavern here. Oops. There we go. Put you all down in there. And let me bring you over. Boom. There we go. And I think we can go with something a little more upbeat. I'm going to do. So, guys, you can carry on. You're all sitting down. You've got your drinks. What was her name? Sky. Sky is quite happy to see you once again, Calidor.
Yeah, that's right. My new friend.
Yep. So you guys sit down and you have drinks. The thing that they would be most interested in is the whether you found out about that the disguised person. Remember, you burst into the back of the saucy tart, going after someone who was dressed like the owner.
Right. Yeah, I think we can tell them about that.
Okay. So you bring him up to speed on that.
Secretive or anything, so.
That's Kravos. Kravos Blackburn is the owner, and Sky's uncle as well. So, guys, otherwise, the tavern, as we described before, it seems like it's built to accommodate about 5 times the amount of people who are in here right now. This place was built to service the busy adventuring season as opposed to the winter season. So you guys have no difficulty finding your spot at the end. There's still some of those dwarves. It's their last night that the dwarves will be here before they head back to Citadel Silver. And you guys sit down and have an opportunity to compare notes and plan what you wish to do next. So I will leave it to you guys. I'll tell you when the dragon arrives.
All right, then.
Keep an eye on there, George. What is... Oh, no, what's that? Oh, just kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, what's it? Oh, just kidding.
We'll buy the dragon a drink. It'll be fine. I mean, I guess at this point, if we're going to pursue the paladins, then we probably ought to head north.
As interesting as this undead necromancy stuff is, it's the locals' problem at this point. We've got the church involved.
Well, to some extent, yeah. But yeah, our main quest, I feel, was to find them and to recover the artifacts.
Do we have definitive proof that they continued northward, or perhaps they investigated the same thing that we did and found these graves, or were set upon and escaped?
As I understand,
I was going to say, we have an idea that they might have gone to Kirkliston?
yeah, that was the impression that I got from everyone we had talked to, is that they had left here and gone to Kirkliston.
That is what we've been told, but what is curious about that is how would they know if they reached Kirkliston?
Well, I think that's the question. I don't think anybody has gone to Kirkliston to inquire if they ever made it there. I think we would be those persons.
That makes sense to me. How far is Kirkliston, Kev, approximately?
Like a day's travel on the road with your wagon and whatnot. The only caution they've given you is that there is apparently an owl bear that has taken up its hunting territory in there near the end of the summer. Someone was feeding it, you know.
Yeah, some DM was feeding it.
Well, as I say, there's a saying that the Rangers of Herringer have: a fed owl bear is a dead owl bear. So they really encourage people to not do that. But what are you going to do?
But I think, Jill, it seems like that does make the most sense if we're going to pursue our brethren.
I feel at this point we have to see this through.
Yes, to find them.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right. So Kirkliston it is.
So tomorrow, first light, do you think we should set out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make sure our provisions are good, and yeah, we'll go ahead and set out. I mean, it is only a day, but you never know.
One of the neat things that the game does as well, just to point something out for NPCs, because monsters or adversaries or whatnot are built with a wholly different set of rules than what characters are, they don't have to abide by the same levels of proficiency stuff that PCs have to. I mentioned that so you can have you could have there's a barrister in the GM's guide, so someone could have a society roll, even though they're like a level 1 combatant, they could have a society roll of master or legendary because they're just that good at it. Similarly, trained people like blacksmiths or whatnot may have an expert level or something similar. So I mention that only because you guys could not repair Calidor's shield, if you stop by a blacksmith shop, they may be able to do that for you.
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
Main campaign that he's terrible.
You have heard before, several months back, yes, that he is awful. So there is that concern. There's something to be said for having a captive market where your customers will often die if their shield or armor fails. So, not really able to... It's like the complaints list for criminal lawyers. It's difficult to lodge that from prison. So,
Do you know anything of the blacksmith in Kirkliston?
Interesting question.
I don't think you've heard anything in particular. The thing that really stands out about Kirkliston that Worldigo can tell you about is their theater. They've got an amazing theater.
Yes.
Theater, blacksmiths, same kind of thing.
Well, it means there probably is going to be someone who every community has somebody to make horseshoes or nails or whatever else. So there's got to be someone there. Whether they're going to be skilled enough to work with adamantine is another question. The people, if you're on the way back, at the very least, you could stop by Citadel Silver. There's certainly going to be someone there who would be able to work adamantine.
And do we have a sense of how big Kirkliston is in terms of population size or size?
It is. Let's see here. I think it's only a couple of hundred. It's really not that big of a community. Yeah, it's really it swells up when there are specific performances or whatnot. Yeah, 362.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, sorry, 361, Owlbear.
Oh no.
So 360
I
now.
knew it.
Guys, I don't know what's going on here.
This is bad. We gotta go. We gotta leave now.
So, what would you guys like to do? Anything else going to happen tonight?
It seems like we should just get some rest and prepare to head out in the morning.
Definitely need to rest and recover spells.
Yeah.
All right. Who is sharing a room with who? You can figure there's two of you to a room.
I mean, default would probably be Calidor and Religo would share a room.
Yep.
Yeah. Dorman's not rooming with Nox.
He's not rooming with Nox?
That's fair.
Okay, yeah, Chael will. Chael will in the room with Nox.
That makes sense too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
makes a lot of sense.
Damn it, Dorman, I guess it's me and you.
Yeah, put the short piece in.
That also fits so well.
It's like the Odd Couple or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, guys.
Isn't Druin trying to like convert Dorman to worship his god?
All right,
Every
so
time you get a healing spell.
guys, you've all laid down for the evening. This is an approximation of what your rooms are like.
Okay.
Let me
I
show.
like how you just want to like give us a sense of what our rooms look like, even though it doesn't really matter what we're seeing.
No.
Oh, I love my job.
Just get in the mood. Just get in the mood.
So, Nox, you are standing on a seemingly unending blackened lake. There is where you can see to with a slight rippling lights coming from the torch that you hold above your head, or perhaps it's a spell you've got. And you realize that what the spell is your hand is effectively completely aflame. And you're holding it up above you. The orange light of your flame is rippling off, and it goes out for about 30 feet, but then it's utter blackness beyond. And being the gifted astrologer that you are, looking above, you see nothing but blackness. Looking down, you seem to be standing on a single islet of molten magma. Your feet do not burn. You look up, and you can see, seemingly impossibly far off in the horizon, in the blackness, there is a light. A baleful orange light. What do you do?
Am I actually standing on the shore itself or on the water?
It's as if you're standing on a little patch of steaming magma or lava that has formed beneath you to provide enough of a space for you to stand.
Okay, so it's just above the water line.
Yeah. You are confident that you will not sink. The blackness of the lake.
Yeah, no, I know. I have no problem. I'm going to start walking towards the light. I'm not even hesitating.
In response to your step forward, more steaming lava comes up. And at a casual pace, you begin walking across this blackened light.
So at each point my foot is coming down, more magma kind of forms to support me. Okay, cool.
Precisely. And it surges up like orange, hot, liquid rock, but your foot does not go through, your foot does not burn. You can hear distant thunder. You walk for what seems to be maybe not a huge amount of time. It's not hours you're walking, but it's not a matter of seconds. But what you can see as you're walking towards that light is the shape of what awaits you on this island. Your heart is beating fast in your chest, not from fear, anticipation, as you see the broad outline of a huge, looming, blackened ziggurat. You must be easily within 100 feet of the shore, the stony shore of this tiny island that hosts this looming ziggurat. And you can feel the call from within. And standing on the shore are 8 forms shrouded in darkness. And that's when your eyes flash open and you're in your bed. But you cannot move. Your eyes are able to open and close, and your eyes can wildly look around. I think the first thing you look to is wherever you have hidden the Book of Tharizdun. You cannot see that because it is shrouded in shadow. You're certain you closed the blinds, too. Why is the light coming through from outside now? And you cannot see Rockslide's staff, but you can see a bone-white wooden staff carved to a certain point where near the top of it, it has a larger disc, and then it continues on. The disc is carved in the shape of a skull with red lacquer that looks black in this bluish light. And you see an odd-shaped box made of some kind of lacquered wood. It's about that big and that big. And the strange thing about the box is it seems to have more than 4 sides to it. It's got an unusual configuration to it, and there's markings on it that you cannot see. What's going through your mind?
How are the staff and this box close to me, or?
They're fairly close, yeah. Like if you could move your arms or legs, you could reach out and grab it.
I will grab it with my eyes.
Okay.
I will, whatever I can do, if that's the only movement I have, I'm going to try to take in as much detail with my vision.
And as you're doing that, like a viper, darting to the side, your eyes go towards this tiny bit of very slow and deliberate movement that comes from the deepest shadow next to your bed.
I try to look over in that direction and see what I can see.
You see this man lean forward. You do not recognize the face, though the slow and steady way that he allows the moonlight to reveal his face suggests that he wants you to have ample time to see him. He moves forward. He has something around his neck, an amulet of some kind that you cannot quite see. And he wears tan or brownish robes that seem white, almost as white as his skin. He has the very pale skin of the Sulois, humans. He moves carefully over to your bed, leans down, locking eyes with you, and he speaks. You can hear me. Blink once. For
So
yes.
I try to speak first,
Yep.
just instinctively, and I'm assuming I realize I can't.
Can't at all, no.
And therefore I'm slightly confused, but then I hear what he said to me and I blink once.
He nods deliberately. Can you move your limbs? Blink twice. No.
I blink twice.
He nods once again deliberately. So we will parley. And he moves back a bit. 3 is a number that has great and ancient power. And so our exchange will go as such. Agreed?
I hesitate for a moment as I sort of think over this, but I realize I have no choice. I blink once.
Okay. He nods. I will answer 3 of your questions. And then you will return the gift.
I blink once, but as I do it this time, I also do a quick glance over to see if I can see Chael in the other bed.
Chael is in bed and seems sound asleep.
Damn it, Chael! I need help.
I'm not really
It is
asleep.
the way that this person is moving, and like there's been no sound whatsoever. It's almost as if even the outside has been, rendered muffled.
Yeah. Okay.
So he
I
looks
am
down.
ready.
He stands up to his full height. You ask, who am I?
That is my first question, is what I say in my mind.
Yep. I am the unseen blade. I am the King Slayer. I am the tide of woe. I am Argan Thigh, servant of the Shar. And you know from your past experience with Sulis, Shar is a Sulis word for pure. It is something that the Scarlet Brotherhood uses to refer to itself. And he looks down. Your second gift. What has happened to me? There is a plant used in Hepmonaland. The locals call it the peaceful pitcher. And you're familiar with this, Nox. So what he repeats to you is something you unfortunately know. This plant lures in its prey with its sweet and fragrant nectar. When a drop of the peaceful pitcher's nectar is diluted in water, it brings on restful slumber, free of dreams. And he looks slowly over at Chael, and then looks back to you. A single drop on the skin brings numbness, and 3 drops can stop a heart. He leans very, very close to you, so he can, almost his beard brushing up against your chest. You have received 5. And he stands up, giving you time to process that. Your next gift is... What do I want? And he leans up, so really all you can see in the shadows is the pinpricks of his blue, like unbelievably blue eyes. I want to know, Nox, the unexpected. If I must kill you. He turns and again, with no sound whatsoever, goes over, carefully takes the box off of the little desk or whatever that he had it on. He turns it carefully, and there's as it pops open. Brings it over, and he places it on your chest. As you do, or as he does, the medallion drifts forward. And, I forgot to load it. What you see... Oh, no, I didn't. I think I just forgot to make a handout. This is the symbol on his amulet. And would you give us a religion check, please?
Okay, it's not my best, so here we go. Oh,
Nice.
So you know who that is. That is the symbol of Pyreneus. Pyreneus is known by several names, including the Blazing Killer, the Demon Venom, and the God Slayer. That is the Sulis god of murder, poison, fire, and assassination. A highly praised god amongst the Scarlet Brotherhood. He then turns and grabs this white staff and brings it forward. And he looks at you and says, "This is a staff of Sharlaw. I took this from a Shokal, a lawkeeper. I murdered the lawkeeper so I could find you and ask these questions. Nox, what is on your chest? I think you savages would not know. That is a pyroclastic reliquary. If you die in its current state, your soul will be claimed, and Pyreneus, over a span of thousands of years, will slowly burn and consume your very essence. And in that time," and he leans forward, "the staff of Sharlaw will still compel you to speak truthfully. Are you ready for your questions?"
I look over again quickly at Chael. Nope, still asleep. Damn it. And I turn back and I blink once.
Okay. He leans in and sort of looming over you right now, trying to black out, the entire thing. And once again, you can still see for some reason like a glint in his bluish eyes. And he says, "Are you bound to the conclave of the Black?"
I think I search my mind.
You have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I blink twice because even though I'm actually not totally sure if that's right, but I blink twice.
Sure, he
I attempt to blink twice.
So he stops, and then what he says is "Yalet," and you know that to be the Suli's word for truth. And he looks at you. You can feel those eyes burning into you. So you blink twice. He then looks in. "My second question. Do you know why the Black Star has shifted? Once again, you don't have a lore astrology, do you?
No.
Why don't you give us your warfare lore? We'll use that as your stat. I know you've got that as your sort of background as well.
Yeah, in my second edition character,
Yeah.
my AD&D.
Well, you've also got that
character,
ability, that like astrology related ability, in the PF2 version, right? There's a feat you've got.
Yes, I do. Yep, I do. It's called Soak Astrology.
Yep.
I don't know if you want me to use that in particular, or I should just roll my.
Warfare lore will give us the same rating that we want from this. So,
Right.
fucking.
Nah.
There we go.
What he's referring to is a comet, and a comet that has a very specific arc that is predictable like all other comets. If it's shifted, that's, it's as unthinkable in, your understanding of astronomy as what ours is. So that definitely bodes poorly.
So, and I blinked my eyes twice for not having known that information.
No, and there's also another name that the Black Star under. That is the Herald of Shothragot. I'll put that in chat for you. I mean, I know you encounter a Shothragot every day, but,
Yeah,
Oh, I went to school with Shothragot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to school with his sister.
So how do you respond?
He
says, before you get a chance to respond,
Yeah.
he once again says, Yalet.
I blinked twice, even though I have some knowledge of what he's referring to. I don't know what this shift.
He then leans in. The final exchange in our bargain. He leans in. Do you know why your face appears in my dreams?
I immediately blinked twice on that one.
Okay. He stands up. He then leans in. You can feel slightly, he picks your hand up and he puts it around the staff. And he says, I believe you. But there is much we need discuss. But I must trust you. So I offer you Yalet. And with that, he's caused the staff to trigger in your hands. And you now can tell whether he is telling the truth or whether he is lying. And what he says, I have killed men and women and children. I have slain queens and prelates and archmages. There is no refuge, no safe harbor, no hidden place where I cannot find your friends and those you care for. If you take arms against me, it will not happen this night. I will vanish, but I will come, inevitable as the night, if you cross me. There is not a word of a lie. He then stands up. He speaks a word that you recognize as some kind of divine spell. It's common. He gestures, and you suddenly have full movement. That box, the pyroclastic reliquary, still rests on your chest, however. He then takes the amulet and turns it around. And you see this. And you need not make... You did really well in that roll. I'll let you carry forward your roll. This is a mark of another of the Sulis pantheon. Actually, the head of the Sulis pantheon. This is the mark of Lendor. And Lendor is... I want to make sure I get the full credit here. Is the god of time, of patience, and of study. What do you do?
So the amulet is inside this box?
No, the box sits on you, and you can see there's all these weird markings and stuff on there, and it's opened up in this.
I try to see if I can remove it.
He
so
sees you moving up towards it, and there's a bit of... He chuckles. You can remove the box.
So I take it off and I put it on the bed next to me.
Okay. He looks at it, and there's a little bit of a twinkle in his eye. You don't recognize it.
I look at it again and scrutinize it a bit to see if anything.
Give us a society check. Once again, please. Oh, everyone's got a hero point as well, too. We're almost over here for today, but fuck me. It's, now that you're seeing it from this perspective and not from the perspective he had it at, this is a Suli's puzzle box. It's a toy for children.
I kind of have like a half grin, like knowing, like, you know, between the two of us.
Yeah. He extends his hand to try and help you up.
I'll reach for it.
So he helps you up. He's quite tall. I know you're quite tall as well, so you guys are about the same height in this. And the way he... Now you can see him a little up, like a little more closely. He has that, like, lean, almost like, you know, gamey look that, like, old guys who have worked out furiously their entire lives have. And he moves like an athlete. He says, "We have much to discuss, Nox the Unexpected. But first I must show you the stars." And he turns and kind of like steps up on the balcony, reaches outside, he moves to the side. You can see there's a rope with knots tied in it leading up to the roof. And he looks over and he says, gestures at Chael, "He will not wake for some time. But there will be no harm to befall him if you do not cross me." And he quickly, like with a very, very practiced gesture, gets that staff into his like a storage kind of thing in his back. He leaps out and scampers up to the roof.
I will follow.
And I think, guys, with Nox going to the roof with this mysterious stranger, that's where we will bring our session to a close. So, guys,
That's why I
Where to God,
sleep. Yeah, no.
It's not me. It's not me.
It's sure. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You blame it's Kevin.
Yeah.
It's Kevin.
I would have been sweating bullets so much.
And take his hand.
He knows I can't. No, he just knows I can't resist.
Yeah, one wrong blink from George would have been stabby the person on the bed.
All right. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 9 of our War Story, playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, our Night Below campaign. This is the Allure of Legacy. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can find a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active. We have channels dedicated to this campaign, this game, and all other games we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great channels like information about consolidating about other streamers, or other streamers that are part of the community, I should say, other online conventions, setting up virtual tabletops or streaming setups, and lots of great people, lots of great conversations, and lots of great sources of information. So you are more than welcome to join us over there. You can also find me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and you can find me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our players. So, Dave, George, John, Will, Steve-O, and Jeffrey, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. I've been sitting on that scene for about 2 months now, George, so I've been looking forward.
That's not good. That's not good.
Great.
So then, for those listening at home, we'll be back again with Chapter 10 of this thing. I will mention as well, too, if you're a regular viewer or regular listener to our adventures, we do use Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition for the main campaign, and once we are concluded with this war story, we will be returning to AD&D 2nd Edition. We just felt that it would be fun to use something different and a little more suited to something a little more role-playing intensive like PF2 for this particular story. So if you are concerned about us going back to Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, you need not comment, because I've already told you. We'll be back again next Wednesday. But until then, we hope that we've given you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes in Midmark continue to find. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
See ya.